I'm Luis Herrera, and I'm recording this clip to support my expertise in SAP ERP HCM by showcasing some configuration I have made in my sandbox system. It is pertinent to mention that I cannot get the latest support packages in my sandbox, neither SAP notes, and no basis, and therefore I don't master RFC related stuff. I mention so because I acknowledge, for example, there is inland revenue reporting for payroll, which is based on cloud platform integration, but I'm not familiar with this solution. My intention is to demonstrate my fast learner ability to get the payroll right when it comes to applying my background. In the case of New Zealand, we have a localization which is placed in this folder. The Molga is 43. I have based my configuration on three resources. The first one is the Payroll New Zealand handbook by SAP, which dates back 2001. The second one is a practical guide to New Zealand payroll administration by three Kiwis author. And the third one is the Inland Revenue website, which provides the weekly and fortnightly pay-as-you-earn deduction table. So let's get started. It is need a holiday calendar. Originally the system doesn't come with one for New Zealand, at least not mine. So I went to transaction as call and created the New Zealand holiday calendar. The Holiday Act 2003 provides for 11 paid public holidays. So what I did is to select some public holiday from other calendars. These are the holidays. So why do we need a public holiday calendar? Well, basically because all the work schedules are based on this calendar, and the second thing is because we need a factory calendar. I mentioned the factory calendar because we will be using the chief planning tool. The chief planning tool is pretty handy when we have a business that we need to generate the roster. As you can see here, we need to specify the factory calendar. So we are using NC. Through the chief planner, transaction PP61, the manager can plan the times. Actually, for example, in February we have 4 staff, and we can see when they are working, where the holidays are, when the staff is off, etc. When it comes to payroll periodicity, the standards comes with the period parameter 43, 44 and 45, and they are for weekly, fortnightly and monthly. Let's suppose there is the requirement to manage staff paid on time events based, clock in, clock out, and staff that will be deducted the deviation from the planned times. Well, those are well known within SAP ERP as actual and planned times. Let's check some stuff to see what I'm talking about. So there is the staff 43002. Let's check the info type 7. This staff has the time management status is 1 because it's actual times. However, if we check the staff 43004, the time management status is 9, so it is time evaluation of plan. Number 43002 punch the cloud through the transaction PTMW. A business scenario depicts a time ministerial role, although the data can also come from the working time accounts if the employee self-service is implemented, for example. The staff could punch the clock earlier than the start time schedule or later than the end time schedule. For example, here he's expected to come at 8:30. He's expected to go at 17 or 5:30. However, he has come earlier and he has gone later. The approval of times beyond the core shift is done through the PTMW attendance quota. The attendance quota in FOTI 2007 tells the system that such times also must be paid. In the time schema, there are three functions, TNTP, PB, RKS, and DEFTP, which generate time pairs within the TIP table based on the core times, and assign times to the pairs determined by the configuration table T555Z. You can read the documentation to find out further. So, for example, in the case of 3rd January, the attendance quota from 8:26 to 8:30 and from 17:30 to 18 are approved. On the other hand, the staff 43004 does not require clock times. However, let's say he's working on holiday, and the info type 2005 fits the input the time and a half. The holiday Act 2003 states an employee who works on a public holiday that is normal working day for that employee is entitled to an alternative holiday pay at the employee's relevant daily pay or average daily pay. So we have here the info type 2005 for the employee 43004. He is generating 8 hours of work and they will be paid as a time and a half time. So in order to fulfill the requirement, we leverage an absent quota type 90 in New Zealand. And the base title is given by the time type 0042, which is generated whenever the staff is working on public holiday. Let's suppose two staff have worked on public holidays, so whenever the PT60 or time, it generates the absent quota 90, we was introduced earlier, and let's check the payroll for 3002. Their quota has been also deducted. So let's check why. The absence has been recorded in the 7th February, so time in lieu absent. So let's check the payslip stuff. So let's run the payroll and let's check the payslip staff 43002, and there we go. The pay leave 8 hours, so the ordinary time. I want to show that the weekly pay staff have been input the hourly rate wage Z025. This is info type 8. Such a wage has been copied, whereas for the fortnightly pay staff, they have been input the wage M021. The reason why I mentioned that is because you might be wondering how the system is paying. Well, the answer is the time wage type rules. And basically, the wage type Z019 ordinary time and Z091 time and a half are generated in the time operation, and then they are evaluated in payroll. Another interesting feature is the pay-as-you-go fashion. It can be paid to employees on fixed-term agreement or less than 12 months, or to employees whose employment is irregular. In this case, the employees that have been set the employee group 6 casuals, this staff, he's going to receive the identifiable component of their page of 8% in accordance with the employment relationship Act 2000. This is the casual holiday. In order to get this done, it is required to map the employee category into three, because the three is the standard casual category. The transaction PT63 shows the personal work schedule, and in fact we can see the staff is only working on Saturday and Sunday. Because how is the concept being generated? Well, basically there is the standard scheme NZL, and NZL contains the rule NZZP. Let's open the rule. The rule leverages the operation cum-WT to find out the concepts collected into the accumulation wait time /121 to generate the wage type M166 by multiplying the 8%, which is in the constant cajole stored on the table T fix 11K. Basically, the operation is a decision operation depending on the answer yay or no. Let's see which wage type are accumulating to the forward 121. And in the report use of wage type in payroll, we have the concept, and all those bunch of concepts are accumulating there. Finally, when it comes to taxation, there are two things to be aware of. Firstly, the working safer levy, or the ACC earners levy. For pay-as-you-earn purposes, it is stated the earners levy deduction is 139 New Zealand dollar per 100 New Zealand dollar of earnings. ACC maximum earning on which the levy is payable is $128,470. Let's check the configuration. We have the threshold here, and everything is based on the tax code M, and the percentage is 0.0139. Secondly, the tax rate and threshold. New Zealand has a progressive and gradual tax rate, meaning the rate increase as the employee income increase. So we have for threshold until 14,000, until 48,000, until 70,000, and what I call infinite. So let's check infinite. So we have a threshold of infinite. It is fixed $14,020. Those the incomes you are subtracting 70,000 and then apply 33% rate. For example, according to the fortnightly pay periods provided by the IRD, for earning of 3,000, the pay as you earn is $682.46, and that is what the payslip states. So let me elaborate how the taxation is actually being calculated. So we have the fortnightly salary, the 3,000 sorry, and we have 2 weeks periods in the year. There are 26. So when we multiply 3,000 per 26 periods, we get 78,000, and it's taxable in the what I call earlier the infinite threshold. 2020 figures is fixed, and it must be added to the difference between 70,000 minus 78,000 minus 70,000, where we apply the 33% rate. So we get 16,600. $160. And when we divide into the 26 periods, we get 640 bucks with 76 cents. Then it is required to calculate the ACC earners levy, and the 78,000 is applied the factor of $39. So we get an amount that we divide into 26 weeks, 26 period, and we get 41 dollars with 7 cents. And when we add both figures, we get the taxation stated in the payslip. As an SAP consultant, I must do the utmost to use a standard configuration. That's the reason why I have shown some business cases with the standard functionalities. Of course, it is naive to think I can cover everything ranging from payday filing to superannuation to child support to overtime without copying the standard schemas, the standard payroll calculation rules, or enhancing an object. But what I have done allow a simple business to run the payroll while complying strictly the New Zealand legislation. So a few things I would like to show further. Basically, what I have been doing is to following tutorials related to SAP UI5 framework because I'm passionate about the web application, and I think the responsiveness of the applications are what the final human resources user and staff are looking for. So this is a little application with some static data. I'm now the most experienced SAP UI5 developer. However, so I think I'm doing well trying to get into this technology. And the second little application is what I am most interested in, because this application in particular is connected to the SuccessFactors API, are good data sources to be that they are exposing to the customer to enhance or to extend the core functionalities. So I hope you have enjoyed my short clip. Thank you for watching.